Narcissistic abuse should be a crime. Narcissistic abuse is not a misunderstanding. It's not a relationship that went wrong. It's calculated, strategic, and it's a relentless psychological warfare. In my book, Voices No More, The Legal War on Narcissistic Abuse, this conduct is named for what it is: intentional harm. Narcissists groom their victims with the sole purpose of exploitation and domination. This is not love. It's not a partnership. It's power, control, and destruction. See, narcissists are not confused. They're not unaware. They are predators. Every phase of the abuse cycle is deliberate. The lies, the gaslighting, silent treatment, smear campaigns, and isolation are coordinated tactics. They study their victims, mimic their emotions, they exploit vulnerabilities, and they move with precision like hunters. In my book, Voices No More, this pattern is identified as neurological battery, the repeated non-consensual infliction of neurological harm through psychological means. They know exactly what they're doing, and what they do is criminal. They weaponize time, credibility, and social perception to recruit allies while dismantling their victims behind closed doors. Narcissists are often so convincing that families, communities, and even legal systems are turned against survivors, who are then portrayed as unstable, aggressive, and irrational. This inversion of reality is not accidental, it's strategy. These are tactical moves. People are converted into instruments of abuse commonly called flying monkeys. Many understand their role, many choose it. The outcome is the same. The abuse is amplified and the victim is isolated. Narcissists don't merely just cause pain. They engineer despair. They erode self-worth, and they distort reality until the victim's nervous system collapses under constant threat. When the damage becomes visible, it is used as proof as the victim was always a problem. And Voices No More identifies this outcome as a predictable consequence of neurological battery, not a personal failing. Many victims develop passive or active suicidal ideation. Many lose their lives. This is where psychological homicide must be named. When sustained psychological abuse predictably drives a person towards self-destruction, the outcome is not incidental, it's foreseeable, and it's preventable, and it is lethal. Psychological homicide by suicide is the end stage of unchecked narcissistic psychological warfare. This abuse remains largely undetected and routinely enabled, and is dismissed as a private matter or mislabeled as a toxic relationship. And it is neither. It is a premeditated psychological violence. The cycle doesn't end until the abuser secures a new target and repeats the process. They know what they're doing. They have done it before, and they will do it again unless there's accountability. Voices No More exists to close this gap by naming the harm, defining the mechanisms, and demanding legal recognition. This is why neurological battery and psychological homicide must be acknowledged in law. We need support for the Voices Justice Act to recognize narcissistic psychological warfare, coercive control, and neurological battery and psychological homicide as criminal conduct. Survivors need protection backed by enforceable consequences. Support the Voices Justice Act of the Frankie Registry and the Heal Loudly movement to establish this federal registry for repeated psychological abusers and to drive institutional reform. Stand with the voiceless. Stand with those forced into silence. Narcissistic psychological warfare survives through denial and minimalization. It must be stopped, it must be punished, it must be named accurately. Abuse with intent, abuse with purpose, abuse that kills. Enough is enough. Join us. Go to www.change.org and sign the Voiceless Justice Act today and help make this illegal for everybody.